Let's go fight card. So Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. UFC on ESPN is what number is this? Do we have a number? Because it always
It's
tells
just
me
the fight night.
67.
It's UFC Iowa or something like that. They're
I
calling
got
it.
you.
Yeah, this is from
Des
Iowa,
Moines.
yeah. So it's not
Yeah,
at
Des
the
Moines,
Apex,
Iowa.
which
All right,
is
well, let's go, John. Look, Cory Sandhagen, fantastic on the feet. You saw in the Umar Nurmagomedov fight, great takedown defense,
yeah.
slick on the feet, really good off of his back as well. How does Figgy get it done?
I don't think he does. I'm just being honest. If he's good, if I'm just being straight out, I think this is Cory Sandhagen's fight. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for Figgy to be able to get a win against Cory. The one thing that Figgy tends to do is, when he has to work hard and he has to, utilize that wrestling that he'll do at times, he burns energy and then he starts to slow down. And that's going to kill him against some. Cory doesn't slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Cory's a machine. Cory just keeps coming. And so I really look at this as, man, for Figgy to get a win here, which obviously he can. I'm not saying he can't, but he's going to have to land something, that hurts Cory and take advantage of it and get rid of him fairly early, somewhere in the first, second round at the latest. Once the fight gets past midway through the second round, I think it's bad news if it's gone that far for Figgy.
Yeah, I think the size.
Yeah, not only the size, the skill set.
This is true.
The skill set of Cory, people don't understand how slick Cory Sandhagen is. His stand-up is technically really good, and he throws a lot of well-timed knees to the body, to the head. He just does things based upon being a guy that is way too tall for 135 pounds. He's able to do a lot. You talk about that tall, long, and lanky, body style. Well, he's a guy that has it for a bantamweight, and he's just good everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, Figgy's come a long way since 125. I think the weight cut was killing him. I think this is his real weight class. The thing is, the guys above him, he was able to get away with his power and obviously his strength and his speed a little. He was pretty fast for 125-pounder as well.
Yeah.
But the technique is just too much right now against Cory Sandhagen. Cory's got too much technique. He's too slick on the feet. Figgy also being the shorter fighter, the knees up the middle. I mean, we've seen how devastating Cory is with the knees, the boxing, all of those things. He's going to be able to put it together really well. Really well.
The other part, when you look at it, you go back and if you watch Figgy, and I'm not saying it's going to happen in this one, but his technique when he starts to get tired really starts to change, especially with his takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts bending over instead of changing levels with his legs. He's bending over at his waist, and that's just absolute. You can't do against Cory Sandhagen.
Yeah,
he will make you pay.
Umar was having a hard time getting takedowns when they were fresh. He was having a hard time getting takedowns later on in the fight. And Cory's just slick. Like the movement, and what I mean by the movement is I think a lot of people think that everyone's going to act like Ian Gary and kind of be on his bike running the whole time.
No,
that's not Cory Sandhagen. No. Cory Sandhagen's so slick. He just takes little steps left and right, and he changes and adjusts and he switches his stance. He does so many little things to keep his opponent guessing without the casual person at home realizing what's going on. But the fighter inside the cage sees it and goes, damn.
Yeah.
How do I attack
and they hesitate because of it, and it just carries on. And it's look, there's certain guys that you look and you go, man, this guy should have been a champion. But he's run into a couple of fights that the Aljamain Sterling, he just got his back and was able to take care of it. And he's had those fights, the Umar fight. You look and you go, hey, this could be a tough fight for him, and it ended up being that, but it was tough for Umar, and he had to get through a lot of situations. Cory Sandhagen has had special moments. The knee against Frankie Edgar. God damn, that was one you looked at, and I was like, that was the second time I think I'd seen Frankie get knocked out because the first one was against Brian Ortega.
Yeah,
and when that happened to Frankie again, it was like, look, you just knocked out one of the best. And you did it in a way that was flashy, the technique was beautiful. It was a beautiful setup. Mm-hmm. He set that up. And that's what makes him freaking just so good is he's always looking for those moments, and he is waiting on those moments that he's already put into his mind of when he does this, this is what I'm going to do, and he just acts upon it.
No, I'd agree. Like the other thing too with Cory is when he'll make, like I said, he'll make those adjustments on the feet, but what he's good at creating distance.
Yeah.
So what he'll do is he'll take your distance and he'll change it though, but based on what he thinks you're gonna do. He'll switch his stance, or he'll just like kind of do a little shuffle step, and then he'll just step left and right to create a different distance level. Or snap a jab, and then he'll threaten the knee, just kind of fake the knee up the middle a little bit. He'll just kind of lift it a little bit. So as if you're a wrestler or you're someone that needs to rely on the wrestling because you can't stand with him, which I don't think Figgy can for very long.
No.
He's going to have to continue to wrestle and brawl pretty much. He's going to have to press Cory to the fence. He's going to have to make it a dirty, grimy fight and not get caught in the mix. It's going to be a very difficult fight for him. Very. But John, if you're talking about how do you think that Figgy not just gets it done, but in terms of what are the avenues? Let's just go with him. What are the avenues he would need to take to get this win?
For Figgy, look, he's got to mix it up, and he's got to utilize his stand-up to get to grappling situations. He's a good grappler. He's got a great top game, and if he can get on top, he can do damage. He's got good elbows on the ground. His ground and pound is actually really solid. He's got a good submission game, but he likes to beat people down and wear them out, and that's his way of winning this fight. If he can get on top of Cory Sandhagen and keep him down, he can do damage to him. He can slow Cory's offensive output when the next round starts with it on the feet, and he can go back to doing those same things again. So, I mean, it's amazing, when you look at, two guys, and look at Figgy's good. He's really good. It's just sometimes style-wise, you look and you go, stylistically, this is not an easy fight for you to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. Look, if you were to say the over-under on this, going the distance, not going the distance?
I don't think it's going to go the distance.
Okay. And then how does Cory get it done? Or Figgy? You already said how Figgy needs to do it, but what about Cory?
I think Cory getting it done it's going to get into that third, fourth round, at least right at the end of the third, but right towards the fourth. And Figgy's going to start to slow down because of damage that he's acquired, effort that he's put out in trying to get takedowns and burning energy. And he's just going to end up in a position where he's going to end up underneath Cory. Cory's going to be able to be, lighting him up, but I think the referee's going to end up coming in. It's going to be a TKO stoppage.
Dave, can you pull up that graphic from betustv.com? betustv.com. This is what they have right here. Cory Sandhagen, Deiveson Figueiredo. The under is 4.5 at plus 174, which is weird. The over is 4.5 is minus 210. I'm going to go with the under, like John saying. I think Cory gets it done. I think he finishes him. I'm going to go Cory. Even if you didn't go Cory, you can go either one, but I think it's going to go under 4.5 at plus 174. I'm taking that. The money line is just too rich for my blood. Yeah. It's minus 480 on Cory Sandhagen. And how can you have a minus 480 and think it's going to go the distance in a 5-round fight? That's what I want to know. If you're that favored, someone should be getting finished.
Yeah.
And you got the plus.
It's close to 5-1.
Yeah, the plus 357 from Figgy. I'm gonna go I'm gonna take the under for sure at 4.5 at plus 174 at betustv.com. You guys can check out all the other sporting odds and stuff like that on there at betustv.com. What do you think? You agree with me on that?
I agree with you on that. Absolutely.
All right.
I think that you're so smart.
I've never had someone tell me that before.
I know. I love being the first all the time.
My mom didn't even tell me that. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.